Hello, I'm Sayojita. Today I'm making prawn ghee roast for you all. A spicy, tangy and slightly sweet gravy. Ghee roast is a speciality of Mangalore in Karnataka. Fiery red and rather delicious. I have used prawns, but you can make it with chicken, eggs, paneer, mushrooms, baby potatoes and what have you. Mangalore is on the coast, but this one has no coconut nor any coconut oil. As the name suggests, it is made with ghee. I'm going to show you how you can make this prawn ghee roast in less than 10 minutes. You do need one critical ingredient, and this is the ghee roast spice mix. And we are going to make this together in the second half of this video. So stay tuned for that. Here is a glimpse of the paneer ghee roast I have posted on YouTube Shorts. Use tofu for a vegan version of this. Let's just jump right in then. I have about 450 grams of peeled and deveined shrimp. I have washed it and drained any excess water. Mine came deveined, but if yours are not, you must do so. This is what you have to do when you get the prawns. You make a cut on the top right here, and there's a black thread in there that you have to remove. Nowadays we get peeled and deveined shrimp everywhere, so this should not be a big deal. But if you want, I can make a video on cleaning shrimp. Do let me know in the comments below. The first step is to marinate the prawns. Salt, that's just enough for the prawns. We can add more later. Yogurt, hot chili powder. If you are unsure of the spice level you would like, you can skip the red chili powder for now and add it later. Our spice mix has a lot of Kashmiri chili powder, and that may be sufficient for many of you. And turmeric. And that's it, nothing more just yet. All other seasonings are in the spice mix. That's what makes it so easy. Mix it up and let it rest for about 20 minutes. But if you're in a pinch, there is no need to do that. In fact, whether you're making prawn ghee roast or paneer ghee roast or even boneless chicken, you really don't need to do this marination for a long time. Only with bone-in chicken would you have to do that. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the ingredients. The marinated prawns, of course, and half a cup of our spice mix. I've mixed it with water to make a thick paste. This is essentially the gravy base. There are no onions or cashews or coconut or anything like that. Therefore, no chopping or grinding while making the gravy. And not too many other ingredients. Curry leaves, a handful of them. Coriander leaves are optional. Salt and ghee. Let's start cooking. I'm using my traditional iron kadhai or carbon steel kadhai, which may be a more familiar term to some of you. I'm going to start a timer just to see how long the whole thing takes. Add the ghee. Being a ghee roast, this one is quite rich. I've been relatively liberal this time, and I do think you can reduce the ghee a little bit if you like. If your ghee is liquid at room temperature, you will need to add more than I have indicated. Let it get nice and hot on a medium flame. Ghee roast is deep red in color, and we do not want anything to turn brown or black. So make sure that the kadai does not get super hot. The first thing I'm going to do is to fry the curry leaves until crisp. These look like a lot, but I'm going to take some out to be used as garnish later on. The green color of the crisp curry leaves contrasts beautifully with the red gravy. I'm still in two minds about the coriander leaves. I usually love to add them to everything. I'm going to take the decision to add them or not a little later. And if you want, you can also fry these and use them for garnish. Now we'll add the paste. It is well roasted and everything is cooked, so it does not really need much sauteing before adding the prawns, but just for a minute or so, especially if it has been in the refrigerator. Here again, you must manage the temperature of the kadai because you don't want the red paste to turn brown. And then add in the shrimp. Mix it into the paste and increase the flame to medium-high. From this point on, we want to keep the heat a little high. If the kadai and its contents get too cool, the shrimp will release a lot of water and that will spoil the whole dish. This dish has no water in it. The only liquid here is the yogurt and the juices released by the shrimp. And those, the ones released by the shrimp, we want them to evaporate as soon as they are released. Hence, we do need to keep the heat a little high. Now, all we have to do is just toss everything together and make sure all the shrimp are cooked well. But not overcooked. Overcooked shrimp will be chewy and hard, and undercooked shrimp will be a little transparent to look at. It's been about 4 minutes. At this point, you can taste and adjust any seasonings. Salt, chili powder, lemon juice if you feel the need for it. I'm going to add more salt. If you're unsure of the spice level you want and you have held off adding the chili earlier, this is a good time to add however much you need. My gravy has a nice tang from the tamarind in the spice paste, so I'm not adding any lemon. You can see right here some of the prawns are still a little bit translucent. It's a little hard to see with all that red spice, but this is an important step to make sure that all the shrimp are cooked. So, a few minutes to go. There is a heavenly aroma of ghee, chili and prawns in the kitchen. And I'm just going to toss this for a minute or so and then turn it off and let it rest in the latent heat of the hot kadai. All done. Our prawn ghee roast took just about 9 minutes. I've transferred my ghee roast to a serving bowl and garnished it with the reserved curry leaves. I decided against the coriander this time. I'm going to serve a traditional meal on a banana leaf with bottle gourd kuttu, dry spinach curry, chutney, the prawn ghee roast and ragi dosa. Ready to eat! Now I'm going to make the spice mix for you. Here are all the ingredients at a glance. I'm making this one to keep in the refrigerator for a few weeks. That way I can whip up a ghee roast whenever I feel like. Prawn, paneer, mushroom, boiled egg and boneless chicken in just about 10 minutes on weekdays, and bone-in chicken when I have a little more time over the weekend. If you're making the spice mix just for this one time, you need about 1/3 in this recipe. And do not need to be as rigorous with roasting the ingredients and frying the garlic. And one more ingredient I forgot to show is jaggery. And if you can't get that, you can also use organic brown sugar. Let's start roasting. The garlic is the only wet ingredients that we have. So this is where we have to spend a little more time. I'm using ghee to fry the garlic, but you can also use oil. This much garlic will take about 3 to 4 minutes on low heat. Remember, we don't want anything to brown too much or blacken. I could choose to dry roast the whole spices and chilies in the microwave, but I'm just going to continue in this kadai. After the garlic, I'm just going to flash fry the tamarind for a minute, just to get rid of any surface moisture. Add ghee anytime you feel you need it. Then, it's the chilies. Lightly roast them until they are warm. The main purpose of frying the chilies is to release the flavor and get rid of any surface moisture. You don't want to over roast them and let them get too hot. They lose their color after that. Kashmiri chili, lots of it. This is where the red color comes from. And because of the large quantity, a reasonable amount of heat too. You can also use regular chilies with paprika if you like. However, Kashmiri chilies have thick skins, so they also give body to the gravy. As I mentioned earlier, there is no other thickener in the gravy, like coconut or onions or cashew nuts or anything. And then the whole spices. Coriander seeds, black peppercorns, mustard seeds, cumin seeds, and methi or fenugreek. All these have to cool completely before we grind them. First of all, the dry ingredients in 2 batches. Then add the garlic and tamarind to the dry powder and grind them in 2 batches. Then this is what we get. A dry paste or a lumpy powder, whatever you would like to call it. Mix it well. I just realized I forgot to add the jaggery, so I'm going to use my jaggery powder and mix it in now. But if you have remembered, which I hope you have, then you can just process the jaggery along with the garlic and tamarind. Let the spice mix rest for a little while until it cools. Bottle it up and refrigerate. That's it for prawn ghee roast. I'm going to leave you right now with this video of Goan fish curry. Made from first principles, but very simple to prepare as well. And I'll see you again next week. Thank you for watching.